Hey, Dusk here with another Phasmophobia tutorial. The first one was pretty well received, so this time we will look into a more in-depth topic. That would be the photo system. There is a large amount of confusion about the photo system in this game, and I'm going to help try and tackle it. With that being said, if you want to get as much as you can out of every single one of your cameras, then stay tuned because this was a lot more detailed than I originally anticipated. When I started looking into this subject, I didn't think it was going to be so detailed, but here I am, once again, being proved wrong. So I started testing, and because I tested, you don't have to. You're welcome. Now, there are a couple of main categories when it comes to taking pictures. A lot of the confusion stems from the fact that a lot of them are considered interactions instead of having their own standalone categories. These categories can be seen in your journal just before the evidence page. There are technically 10 separate things you can take pictures of in the game. Some are very simple, others require more in-depth explanation. The list is as follows: bone evidence, voodoo dolls, blood cleavers, footprints, fingerprints, the ghosts themselves, dirty water, dead bodies, Ouija boards, and general interactions. It's a big list, so let's get into it. The first, and possibly the easiest to grab, if you keep your eye out, is the bone evidence. Randomly throughout the map, there is one bone that you can take a picture of and then pick up. Both interactions give you money. They can sometimes be annoying to find given how small they are, and how they interact with the terrain. A lot of the time, you can find them laying around the floor randomly, but they can also spawn on furniture, inside of things, so they can sometimes be easy to miss. I personally have found some in sinks, tubs, and clipped through the staircase. Side note: I haven't seen it personally, but I have trusted sources that say they have found them outside the house a time or two. So keep your eyes out. The next one is possibly the most finicky and annoying photo to get, and that is the voodoo dolls. As far as I know, they only spawn in the farms, 2 in Grafton, 1 in Bleasdale, and are considered interactive for the sake of pictures. They're kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they register, sometimes they don't, which makes you waste possible photos, and the delicate self-esteem that you used to have before you started attempting this. So if they don't work, don't worry about it, don't obsess over them, just come back to them later if you have extra photos. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. Each voodoo doll counts as its own separate picture, so each one can generate profit. The next one is extremely simple. You just have to go to the Bleasdale farm, walk through the front door, look into the living room, there's a table. On the table, there's a bloody cleaver. Take a picture of it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Another one that's almost as finicky as the voodoo dolls is the footprints. In the journal, they're their own interaction and are easy enough to get with salt. The problem is sometimes they'll register, sometimes they won't. Much like the voodoo dolls, each footprint in the salt has the potential to be a standalone interaction, but there are easier ones to get. So if they don't register, don't fret over it, just go for something a little bit easier. Now for fingerprints. Fingerprints only appear during certain ghost encounters, and you can take pictures of different handprints to count as different photos. They will all generate money. You can take these pictures whether or not you have a UV light shining on it. If it's on a window on the outside of a house that you can reach, you are also able to take a picture of it through the window safely. Ghost events can be the most difficult things to get pictures of due to the unwillingness of a ghost to actually come out at the proper moment, which makes moments like this when you don't have a camera an absolute gift. While looking for bones, Ouija boards, or clues, it's good to keep a cam on hand for a good photo opportunity. Doing this helps ensure that you'll get objectives and some extra cash. Each manifestation counts as its own instance, so one pick per instance is a good way to make some money. I know that dirty water encounters are the bane of my existence when I'm hunting, and probably the bane of many others. It is by far the most difficult to get consistently because it requires the ghost to perform a specific action, which is to turn the water brown inside of a sink. This becomes increasingly difficult the further away the ghost's room is from a water source. I got really lucky here for this example because I had a ghost that was wandering the hallway and managed to hit 2 bathrooms at the exact same time. Not only do they count as separate events, you can also take a picture of it again to count for a second interaction, which means each dirty sink event, as long as you do not turn off the sink, counts as 2 interactions, doubling your money. It is worth mentioning, however, if the sink is turned on again by the ghost, it will not count as a separate dirty water event, so taking a picture of it again would be a waste of a photo. Dead bodies, while unfortunate that you have an ally that has died, can give you a chance to help them recoup some of their money, and get an easy ghost photo if you are quick enough, as seen here. Bodies sometimes have issues though, where they don't want to register as photos, so try different positions to be able to get the extra pics if you need them. Just don't hang around long enough to become the next victim of the ghost. Ouija boards can be found in all maps, however there is no guarantee that it is going to be there. There are some sources that say that it has a 33% chance to actually spawn on the map, which means you'll see it a third of the time. There are times when a Ouija board can be finicky, however, much as seen here. I've found that picking up the board and putting it onto a different platform or something like that is normally able to pull it out of its glitch so you can get a good photo. They spawn in random places, so just keep an eye out for them. Don't be obsessed if you can't find one. Finally, we're going to get into general interactions. Things such as doors opening, radios turning on, and most things that ghosts will do to manipulate the area around you. You're able to take pictures of the interactions. If in doubt, these are good ways to squeeze just a little bit of extra money out. And can also, as a warning, much like the Ouija boards or Salt, they sometimes don't register in the best ways. So if it doesn't go the first time, I wouldn't waste any more time trying to take pictures of it and just wait for the next possible event. Each camera has 5 photos it can take total, and you can have 3 max whenever you go into a ghost house. However, you can only actually take a max of 10 pictures, and it's always going to take the first 10, meaning you're going to have 5 pictures left over. This also means that early on, whenever you're taking pictures, you have to be mindful not to waste photos. If done correctly, you can walk out with at least an extra $50 from amateur and even more from intermediate or professional. Well guys, that's it for another one. I really appreciate all those who supported me with the first one and those who are able to sit there and find this useful. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, leave a like and let me know in the comments what else you would like to actually learn how to do in this game. If I can help, I will. Anyway, happy hunting and see you next time.